The Subgrade Model Manager has some import-export features which you can utilize with your Subgrade models. If we go to the Import tab, we have the option to show any civil site design pipe networks. If we click on the Setup Pipe Networks, this is set up exactly the same way as the Pipe Network Viewer in Model Viewer. We can assign any network a display type, coloring, and decide how the structure types are displayed. If you then want to display that network in the view, you can click on Show Pipe Networks. One thing you may notice is that the material of the subgrade surface is currently solidly rendered, so you could go in and change the style from rendered with edges to wireframe. There's also another option available to you if you want some transparency on your subgrade surface. If you go to the Display Manager, you'll note that we're using a subgrade surface style called topsoil, and these are the materials that we use to apply. If we go to the Materials tab and then go to Material Groups, you'll notice at the top here that we have an option to use transparency. If we add a transparency value in this column to any material, that material will become transparent in the environment. So let's go and find topsoil, which you can see here, and currently there's no transparency. So let's set that to say 50 and click OK. And once we've made that change, we can click on Save and Close. So we can now see that subgrade surface in a transparent form, meaning that we can see through it, and particularly when we're seeing pipe networks, that can be helpful. If we pop back to the Import tab, we've also got the option of importing CAD drawings. Now it should be noted that if your CAD drawing has got purely 2D information with elevations of 0, they will be elevated at 0 within this environment. Now we're looking at elevations of around 40 to around 30 down this part of the job, so any CAD drawing would be displayed well below this. So it's important that you add any drawings, bearing in mind that they would have to contain elevation information or 3D information that is around the same elevation as your project. If we go to the Export tab, we have a number of export options, and again, similarly to Model Viewer, when we click on Export, we can export a number of different file types such as 3D PDF, CAD DWG, etc. We can also export an IFC file of this particular surface. The CAD panel will allow us to export information directly into the DWG. When we reviewed the section styles, we had the option to be able to output CAD polylines and choose what layer that they were created on. If we click on Output Polylines, that polyline information will be immediately created in the drawing. In fact, what we'll do is we'll just move this off to one side, and if we'll turn selection cycling on, which it is, and we'll just left click, you can see we now have 3D polylines of information that we have generated for our subgrade surface. We've also got the option to output Kogo points, feature lines, and to export a civil 3D surface directly from this environment.